thrilling adventure, some bound in chains, through battles waged and fought, through victory and pain, by test of their courage, our freedom was gained. In homage to those gone before us, the heroes of lands in the sun, we vow to join hands and to focus on building one Caribbean. Raise your voice.
Welcome, brothers. Welcome, sisters. Welcome to our program On Target. And as usual, as soon as we start that program, you can pick up a telephone and give us a call. We never have a subject matter. We speak about anything: politics, religion, socio-economic issues, or any topical issue of the day. And you could change the subject matter anytime you want. You could bring in any subject matter. You know, we in an environment now where we are a couple hours before 6 a.m. on Wednesday morning. That is when the poll will open. And Grenadians have the opportunity to cast a ballot. One man, one vote. Irrespective of your status, irrespective of your age, irrespective of your class, how much grammar you could speak, one man, one vote. It's tomorrow that everybody is really equal. People have an opportunity to select the government of their choice. And we must be prepared to respect that. The rules are clear. The integrity of the democratic system in Grenada is without question. Why do I say that? From 1984, irrespective of the barrage of lawyers you have, no losing side have ever challenged the decision in the court successfully, even prior to 1974. So it means that they're generally satisfied with it. Even if there is irregularities, real or perceived, it is like a molehill. It is not enough to change the decision of the results. The rules are very clear. I listened to a posting, a tape by one of the politicians, and I believe that politician should already correct his mistake. After you vote, you cannot return to the queue. Once you vote, you have to leave the polling station and go. There is no loitering around the polling station. In fact, a line is drawn on the road in white, clear for everybody to see, 100 yards away from the polling station building. No loitering. Whereas you could vote for somebody that is blind or incapacitated, you can be no permanent helper. Once you could do that, and your name must be in that polling station. So the politician, and I guess I have a very soft heart for politicians. So I guess mouth open and word jump out. And in the heat of things, this thing could happen. But by now, that politician should correct it. Because he said you could return to the line to hold a position for your friend. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
If someone comes and voting, right? That person must know when you vote, you cannot go back in the line. When you vote, you have to leave the premises and go. As I said, there's a line. You cannot stay within the line. And you cannot go back in no line. You have to leave and go. You know, so I do believe it. For you to say that and encouraging your people to do illegal things, I consider people that they are not proper leaders. I consider leaders someone who encourage other people to do what is right. do is wrong.
Sometimes
Do
they
what
did
is
not
wrong. What?
know. Sometimes they don't know. Not because you're a lawyer means you know everything, you know. Sometimes they
But like
never
if you don't
vote in their
know,
life yet.
yeah, but Mr. Pierre, if you don't know, find out.
What you need to do is to apologize for your mistake, correct
Exactly.
it as soon
Apologize
as
for it.
possible.
Well, Mr. Pierre, there are some people they will never apologize for the wrong thing
Then you're
they
not a
encourage you to
leader.
do.
That's when you're not a leader.
They're not a leader.
But you see, you
Right?
must, and particularly that statement, even journalists, radio personalities should call for its immediate withdrawal. Yeah? Yes, I think that statement should have called for its immediate withdrawal. You see, a number of people follow religiously leaders, and they believe what the leaders say is gospel. After 1979, Morris Bishop came to a school, the Holy Comforter Government School. A number of people come out to hear Bishop. And he said you could plant weed. You could grow weed. About 9 people or several people get up and ask questions, including 5 farmers. One farmer asked him, he said, don't cut down your cocoa and nutmeg. One farmer asked him if I could plant weed in my yard. He said, yes, you could plant 1 trees. One young man went to the police and told the police he planted weed a few months after. And another farmer took his weed from him. And he wanted them to go and address it. The police asked him to go and behave himself. At that time, Grenada police didn't have power. The militias was over them. The commissioner of police was about 24, 25 years. And I don't think he had any military or police experience before. So the police, for want of a better word, was like dogs. The police begged the young man to go and behave himself. He said, Bishop told me, I heard. The police said, go and study Bishop. He called the police counter-revolutionaries and CIA agent. The police went with him, take the 4 or 5 weed trees that was remain, brought him in front of the magistrate, and he got 2 years in jail. So some people take what the political leaders say as gospel. And this is why when a statement is made like that, it's supposed to be retracted. It could be a mistake. It could be that the individual didn't acquaint himself with all the rules and regulations. It could well be that that individual never voted before and don't have the experience. A lot of children went to school, went away and studied, so busy involved in their work, they don't have time to go and vote. So the statement should be retracted. If the individuals have guts, balls, and a sense of humility, that statement should be retracted. The older members of the political party, who knows, should already inform him and correct it. This is important because you may well find people ending up in jail because of that statement. The presiding officer on that day, if it is found that you're going in the line to hold position, he could instruct the police to arrest you. And it would be unfortunate and sad for ordinary folk to end up in the cell because of what a leader says. So I have not heard whether the statement was retracted, but it must be loud and clear and circulated widely and extensively, so you don't put a militant supporter in trouble. There are some supporters of the political parties that are very militant, and they will digest every word the politician says. So I think it's very important You cannot loiter around the polling station on that day. If you come to vote and the marshals appears, you ever call on the line, call a punch.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre,
Yes, my brother.
But I heard somebody say something about it, but I say maybe that was just a rumor, but and you didn't have a clipping.
I heard it myself. I heard it myself. But I don't play clippings.
Oh, right, yeah. I heard I say what I say now, I don't feel that way. But I don't think it's a mistake. I think they're deliberate.
Well, you see, it's difficult. It's difficult for me to believe it's deliberate, and I'll tell you why. The individual is new to politics. Even if he's a lawyer, but sometimes he don't know. He don't know the rules. But within his ranks, there are people there who should know and ask him to retract the statement fully.
They should do that.
Yeah.
Even the same thing with the chairman. I say, well, the chairman should see, but I blame the chairman for coming and do that come from foreign country and that. But when you really look at it, sometimes the man could be innocent. He never know he's been tricked. Sometimes he can't think it's a genuine call. They call him to see a person what poses in a house, and somebody come genuinely and don't know he's can they can him. But as a chairman, he's supposed to see if a person can him. He's supposed to see that coming. So sometimes I blame the man, but sometimes the man could be innocent. He really know that they really trick the can him. He never know.
But you see, okay, brother, thank you. It could also be something that was not properly managed. It was not intended that face would have been identified. It was not intended that insignia or domino would have been able to identify and associate it with a political party. It could have been some little drama and acting that went out of control. They should have put for entertainment purpose only. Because some of the characters are known and associated with a particular political party. But again, it could have definitely be an intention to give people the impression that in the event that you're not successful, that you have a reason, a justification. And I'm not surprised, for about a number of years, we had a radio personalities pushing and advocating that the election was not genuine. They claimed they got jerseys from Haiti and implying that some unsavory spiritual things was done. For years, we had individuals on radio encouraging people to burn things. And I take issue with these things because I think it's a serious issue. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome.
Yes, sir.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
Well, today is a very, very, very important day.
You just have a few more hours before the voting starts. 6 o'clock in the morning.
Today is a day everybody should make up their mind to save Grenada from trouble. So, by now, I'm very impressed this morning with the amount of callers stating why they voting for NNP. People was calling on the radio and saying they vote NNP, and they was giving good reason. That was very interesting because I never heard that before, so close to our election. On the eve, I have callers telling people, let's vote NNP and look the reason why we should. That was very good. I also want to warn a cause mostly for us a warning. The NDC is using some tricks by trying to even fool NNP supporters and all and make them get frightened by putting all kind of things on social media and saying, oh, we win already, or we in the lead, and some people getting frightened, whereas that's a strategy they're using. So I'm asking Grenadians to get up early in the morning and go and vote the new National Party, because the new National Party is the only answer to Grenada. You don't have to like Kit Mitchell. You have to like the experience and the good works. Some people just don't want to face reality. I don't like the man.
Yes, caller, you cut off or I think you might have to call back. It seems that we lose communication. Yes, my sister Cheryl, good afternoon. And we're very happy that you're listening to us, We believe that we can change things. We believe that this country is a beautiful little country. Irrespective of the challenges we have, Grenadians have to start to get more knowledgeable. When we want to make statements, make comparisons. We sit down, we listen to the election in Jamaica. We listen to the election in Guyana, in Trinidad. By 6:30 tomorrow afternoon, I am certain you would know who win the election and who lose. By 6 o'clock, some people out with their pans and pot and the drum and the colors ready to celebrate. The poll closed at 5. And before 6, most polling stations would finish check the vote. And they would send in the temporary vote. But remember, both political parties, and if you have an independent candidate, would have the agents there. So as soon as you finish check, that agent jump on the phone. The agent will phone the information to the political party faster than the presiding officer. Because the presiding officer have to sign documents, sign paper, and he may phone in 2 or 3 minutes after he gets the result. But the agent sends it immediately. And the political parties have their headquarters where they're coordinating results. And they would know how much they win and lose by. And they will be on the street celebrating before the presiding officer is able to send in his results. It's that quick it is. That is why I take issue with the statement made by the politician on the platform. I believe perhaps he had made a mistake. Maybe he wasn't informed of the process. Not because you're a lawyer, a doctor, a scientist, means you know everything. Sometimes the individual never vote in life. I don't know if any journalist asked that. Because they are brand new team to politics. Nothing's wrong with that. A political party choose the people they want, but they're brand new, so they're not very knowledgeable. They may not be very knowledgeable about the procedure. And they're busy campaigning. Sometimes they did not have time to acquaint themselves with the procedure. So that statement should be corrected. It should be corrected because as a leader of a political party, some militant members of your party would believe everything you say is gospel. Particularly, you're a lawyer. That's why I take issue with a lawyer that is encouraging to petition a parish. And he says he don't care if it is aligned to New Zealand and Australia. Yes, caller, welcome.
Well, I want to say to the people that voting, please, especially those with long nails, you've got to cut it because you have to submerge your finger in deep down. You know, I don't know who's going to win, but if, like, for instance, NNP win, the bottom line is that this young guy would have given Keith Mitchell some real stress and give Keith Mitchell a run for his money. I'm proud as a young guy. Look at the kind of campaign he conducted. Look at the amount of people he had drawn, the crowds, the message, everything. Now, that doesn't translate to votes. So people mustn't say big crowds translate to votes because NNP have a big crowd too. But the bottom line for somebody that just came in, who NNP underestimated and say so much thing about, with due respect, I ain't saying anything bad in terms of inexperience, etc. I think that guy do really, really well because Keith Mitchell panicking. I'm not saying that he wouldn't win. We have to see, but he gave Keith Mitchell a run for his money. He really conducted a good campaign, and NNP underestimated the guy. But he's good. So all I'm saying to people, I wish you all the best. People, I'm glad that the campaign was free from violence, more or less, and people go out there to vote because it's a civic duty. People have died for that right. Go out and vote and keep Get a party of your choice, and I'm saying to you, the bottom line is this. This guy really gave Keith Mitchell a run for him, and Keith Mitchell never expected that. You never underestimate any individual. People must take a lesson and learn that you can't take nobody's time. You run and call election, and you see what happening now? He's panicking. You give Keith Mitchell a real run. So people, you must never underestimate anybody, because this young guy just come on, and you see how he making waves. I ain't saying he go win, but he's really giving NNP a rub for the money. So people go out and vote. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. You have a call on the line? Yes, that is what election is about. The democratic process, it creates rivalry because you have to woo your supporters and you put your best foot in front and people go after everything. They go after issues, they go after style, they go after track record, they go after newness, they go after amateurism. Yes, caller, punch.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, my brother.
This girl from Motley, he'll have a serious problem with Dr. Mitchell. I mean, come on.
Come on, let us.
No election in Grenada. Any politician or any leader, whoever you are, will just sit down and believe it will be a walkover. At no time. At no time it ever happens. But I'm here this morning, at this time of the day, just giving Grenada just a little thing to just think about as when it comes to Grenada. Forget about who young and who brilliant. Let's think about Grenada and the importance of Grenada remaining on the right track. Forget about the youngness of anybody and the brilliance. That doesn't mean much for the country. It's what you could do for your country. Your brilliance, it could be for your money. A lot of people brilliant to make their own money, but that's what the country is not. It's far from that. So I tell Grenadians, don't believe in you when they hear people speaking and trying to put out certain sentiments to try to distract them from what they know is true. The NNP has done well as a government, and no other government in the Caribbean for the past 2 years after the pandemic has proven themselves as competent, efficient as the NNP belong to Grenada under the reign of Dr. Keith Mitchell. So Grenadians have to choose, are we want to be on the right path? Are we want to take a chance and see what will happen on the other side? If we go in a hole, somebody might come and pull us up. Let's hope. If we go in a hole, if that should be, somebody might be lenient. Not all the time, it doesn't be all the time. So we have a chance, still left a few hours to think, to make that decision properly when we go to the poll. Have a good day, boss.
Yes, caller, welcome. The nature of politics you have to fight. And Dr. Keith Mitchell, as the caller referred to, is one of the best political leader, the most successful political leader in Grenada. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, afternoon, sir.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, concerning the lady, I don't call her name, right? Remember, in 2008, they had 11 seats. They stick with it. They play the fool. When 2013 comes, they lose all. Imagine that they was in parliament, they was in government, they lose all. They try again, they do what they do. They lose all again. Right? I ask you a question. Can you give them a little know how to win a seat? Because we have all the seats in the house and they don't have none in the office. So I'm waiting to hear. I want to see if they could get. Let me see if they could get one. Thank you.
I don't think it's difficult to win for the opposition to win a seat in Grenada. All you have to do is to follow Dr. Keith Mitchell. Mia Mockley in Jamaica, in Barbados, seems to study Keith Mitchell in Grenada. The previous government, the unions asked the previous government to take some example from Keith Mitchell. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome.
Yeah, brother, how you go?
Yes, my brother, punch.
I want to share a joke with the nation.
Go right ahead. We need some humor.
And it is a true joke, eh?
We need some humor, man.
Right. Sometimes people, especially lawyers, some lawyers just do things deliberate, right? Back in the day, a fella called Duke. Jukes went in a store in Grenville and he stole some shirts.
You have to be careful. Is it real
That happened in the 60s.
All right, go ahead.
That happened in the 60s.
Okay.
He went by Georgie. The police held him, so he went by Georgie there and he met Mr. Benson Douglas, who was the most brilliant lawyer he had at the time. And he told Mr. Douglas what had happened. So Mr. Douglas said, well, yes, you have more of the shot. He tell him, yes, he have shot. He said, all right, the day of the case, bring a shot for him. So he brought this shot for the lawyer the day in question. When they went to the court, Mr. Douglas had on one of the shots. The prosecutor now, in presenting his case, he said, well, look, the company now get the thing a shot. They don't even sell yet. And the man keep the shots and so on. You understand? After he present his case, Mr. Douglas stand up and he said, well, look, I have that shot, that is the same quality shot, same type of shot, same brand of shot. I have 90 blood too. You understand? The prosecutor said, no, I can't accuse you of thieving. You know, Jukes won his case. Now, few weeks after, a month after, Jukes thief again. You understand? And Jukes now have to go to court again. But the time he went to court, you know who was the magistrate? Benson Douglas was the magistrate. You understand? All how Jukes begged. He said, oh God, no, Mr. Jukes. I don't believe you. I believe you commit the crime. You understand? So when he did know that Jukes thief the shot, you understand? He had Jukes get up. But when he was of the opinion that Jukes thief, he wasn't sure. But he sent him to jail for that. You understand? So people that do things deliberate. You understand? So sometimes the lawyer knows that people are supposed to go in line, but he wants to break the law just maybe to create an impact. You know? Have a good day.
Thank you. I got kind of afraid, you know. I thought he was telling me to spell down fumbling. But anyway, that joke is between me and you. You see, once again, we have to refer, in the Caribbean, we had some good lawyers. Carl Hudson Phillip in Trinidad took a case as a prosecutor and got the death penalty. And then Carl Hudson Phillip, after he left the prosecution, he took the case and appealed it and got the death penalty cancelled and got the man out. So sometimes it could be a deliberate action. I pray and hope it is not.
Okay.
Because it would reflect very badly on the senior members of the political party.
Yeah.
They should come in already. I expect them, they should come in already and correct that. Yeah?
All right, man. Take it easy.
Thank you. And it's very important for elders in the society. Don't matter you have newness, there are some rudimentary mistakes that you're likely to make that could have serious consequences when you meet an arrogant leader. And that is where the elders in the society deal with it. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, just quickly. I want to just make a quick point.
Go ahead, man.
This thing about people saying about Dr. Mitchell get run for his money, I don't agree with that, because the people on the other side have no respect for Grenadian people, the Grenadian people. And the reason why I say that, you cannot just come together and put a group of people with only two what have political experience just for the sake of running election. That means you don't like Grenada. You come with a whole batch of inexperienced people, form a group and want to take reign of a country. That means you don't respect, you mean Grenadians don't think it. You don't respect Grenadians to do that, because nobody ever in the history of Grenada ever do that. Form a group of people for about 6 months and want to see if you could reign for. But tomorrow, please the Lord, by God, Grenadians are going to show them they are not puppy show. You're going to show them, and every one of them will be losing their seat because they don't have what it takes to govern this country. I thank you.
Yes, caller, but remember, I don't agree with you. It's the first time. We remember we had the alliance in 1976, Maurice Bishop and them realized that they couldn't beat Gary. So they formed an alliance and they won 6 seats. And when Maurice Bishop overthrew the country in 1979, he locked up all the other members of the alliance. Nayak and Kenny Lalsin and all the others of the old GNP, Maurice Bishop sidelined them. They threatened Mr. Blaze. He went in Karakou. He stayed in the veranda. And he did not even grumble when they lock up Dr. Japal. So you always have some level of marriage of convenience in politics. Nothing wrong with that. That is politics too. We have to respect the voter. The principle of one man, one vote. The fairness of the election. The integrity of the process. That is what we have to respect more. The Constitution does not recognize party. It recognizes he who controls the majority. This is why there is absolutely no need for debate among leaders, because we don't have a presidential election. The one who evolve and win his seat have to go to the Governor General and say, I command the majority. And the people who have the second most would be the opposition leader. You have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome.
I have to come back again because I never said that NNP wouldn't win, because people want to attack me, and all I say is that Michelle got to run for his money because they underestimated the guy.
Yes, that is what you said.
Yeah, but coming back to the thing, let me just say too, I remember in 1984 when NNP was formed. It was formed by Keith Mitchell, GDM, George Brisson, NDP, and Blaze.
In 1984, NNP, Mr. Blaze led a team. Francis Alexis had GDM.
I think Keith Mitchell was the leader at the time. I think so.
Okay.
Right, and George Brisson, and these three people come together.
George Brisson had NDP.
Right, these three people came together hurriedly on Union Island in the presence of George Mitchell, and they formed a party.
To get rid of Gary at all costs.
Exactly. So it wasn't when the NNP was formed, due respect to the NNP, before people show them the truth. It was to get rid of Gary, wasn't it, for the betterment of...
That's why I said marriage of convenience.
Yeah.
And this is why you don't have to have no debate between leaders, because the Constitution does not recognize party.
But I'm just saying, my position is that you're there for all this long time, your work should talk for you, you're doing good, So, and then this young man that just come...
When you there...
Debate him to show that, look, you're in safer hands, I could take the country forward. That is the time that Keith Mitchell should come and debate him. I have a problem with that if he say no, because...
No, you should not debate him.
Right, okay, but I am telling, and that's my position. Yeah. You're big and you're bad, come and debate him. This little squeaky fella, as people are legend, come and debate him. Let's see who is who. Okay. Take up the challenge, and then we go vote for you. Thank you.
All right. Dr. Keith Mitchell should never debate an individual. And let us face it, we cannot shift around this thing too conveniently. The Constitution of Grenada does not recognize political party. What we should be doing is to encourage meetings between the Prime Minister and the opposition leader periodically, and encourage debates between the candidates for the constituency. Yes, caller, welcome. Punch.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, my brother, Punch.
The idea of debate is not something real genuine Grenadian asking for.
I agree with you.
They're not genuine with that, But the fact about it, the NNP under the reign of Dr. Mitchell is the only political party happened to win an election more than once.
On 3 occasions, all the seats.
You understand?
That is
and it's the only, apart from Eric Matthew Gary, the only political party happened to win election twice. Like he stayed 1 term, 2 term. All the others they speak about was good and whatever they was. Barely make a term. And the how he put together, she was speaking about in Karakou, on Union Island, the NNP. Watch how long they last. They started in 1984, they didn't make 1990.
Marriage of convenience.
By 1990, we had TNP and NDC, from the same NNP. You know. So how we put together always have a problem. So we should have a concern. That is history going back to. That is something we learned. We had experience here and we're always speaking about it. Now, look how we can put a party together. It never lasts. And for the development of our country, how a party come together could never be the best thing for Grenada. I'm not an educator. I'm not educated as them. I didn't go to a university. As some of them are and they home join the pension, always speaking about the pension. I didn't go there. But I could. The common sense is simple to go with.
But to color, you notice that has not played out much in the campaign debate.
No,
it's not been played out. Yeah, but I agree with you there.
Yeah, have a great boss.
Yes, these things has not been played out much, and then there's no more room for debate again. We're just a few hours away, and we have not heard much about the tax threshold and what is the philosophy vis-a-vis the lower socioeconomic strata and the traditional social value system. And why I raise that, because during the referendum, the evangelicals had serious issue with the sanctity of marriage. Yes, caller, welcome, Punch.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Thank you. Good to hear your voice, man.
Yeah. I don't understand what that lady is trying to prove.
Yeah, but it's her opinion.
Yeah,
I mean, let's face it. It's her opinion.
I don't get her opinion. All I'm saying, I don't understand what she's trying to prove.
It's her opinion.
She have not said anything to prove anything.
Yeah, but you should just express your views and opinion.
Expression, okay. But I'm saying I don't understand. Is she educating or is she making a joke out of it? Okay. Because I haven't seen.
She seems to be very satisfied with the type of campaign that the NDC run. Maybe she didn't even expect the NDC, bearing in mind that they had this struggle with division and leadership and fracture. So she believed that the new leader, irrespective of the short time, was able to pull NDC together and provide a serious challenge for NNP.
If she's saying that,
and that is fair.
If she's saying that, totally with her.
This
because
is fair.
I am surprised of the way the NDC was able to campaign.
Well, it's the same thing she's saying. I think.
But she's giving that Kit Mitchell feel that and Kit Mitchell feel that and Kit Mitchell.
Well, Doctor.
Tell me what I'm saying is tell me which election that politician will get around for the money. I do not know no election walk over. All election politicians get run for the money. Last election, the election before, NDC totally thought that they would win too. Let's be honest, NDC thought they would have win. There were people who thought that Tillman wasn't the good leader.
Kennedy Boudlard was on the radio in a number of states. Yes. And when supporters of NDC was given they were going to win, Kennedy Boudlard always say, don't understand the maths. You don't know how they check it. Exactly. And I remember saying that you cannot tell the populace who will lose election. So even if God now will tell you they might get the full seats, they know they might get some vote like bingo numbers, but they wouldn't tell you that. So normally when you're campaigning, you wouldn't give the supporters the impression that you're going to lose. That is why they try to bring out this massive crowds.
So I don't understand what she says when she makes those statements, because as far as I know myself in politics, every time there's an election, both sides believe that they're going to win. So you clean up about Kit Mitchell get a run for him money.
But it's also to improve the image of the new individual. By saying that,
well, I know it gets that
it's a campaigning strategy.
I am going down with it that the new leader have done well. I want that to be going on record. But the point that she's making, that Kit Mitchell get a run for his money, I don't see it. Because it's not the first time. It's not the first time that we see that happen. We see it under other leaders. So what is the force in it? And as you said earlier on, the political leader made a very bad statement. I hope you realize it's a mistake, because Dr. Mitchell made a mistake.
Did you hear his apology on it?
No.
Did you hear he recall for it?
No.
Particularly as it relates to election day.
That's why I'm
He
saying.
should withdraw it.
Yeah, because you cannot tell the nation, you cannot tell people hold your space in the line. Because the laws say that once you dip your hand in that ink, you're supposed to leave the premises.
You have to leave. You have to leave.
So he's saying that should come out now. Remember when Dr. Mitchell made the mistake by calling his team name.
But that's not an important mistake.
Right. But
to the electoral system.
I am saying that Dr. Mitchell made that mistake and he took it as a paid announcement and played.
Yes,
but
that was not
that. Was advising people to stay in the line, and today he has not correct himself. That's the point I'm making. I'm comparing. If Dr. Mitchell made the mistake by referring to NDC when he was wanting to refer to NMP, now you are telling people break the rules, stay in the line after you finish vote and hold it for somebody, and you have not come and tell them that that is a mistake. That's why I'm comparing it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Yes, sir. Just going to Facebook. Number of people saying good afternoon, everyone. What runs you talking of? What runs you talking of? Somebody says some of them have a problem with Dr. Kit Claudius Mitchell, but they will see him in their eyes again. You see, we have to be tolerant. Dr. Kit, we have a caller on the line. Caller Punch.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Yes,
Pierre.
my brother.
Long time we don't tap.
Yeah, my brother. Good to hear your voice too.
It's the first time I'm hearing that radio station at the same time for 1 or 2 months well enough now, you know.
Oh my God, when you...
Where I am now, I'm not getting the station normally.
Okay, you on Facebook?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook.
Then you could always go on my thing for it.
Okay.
Or Real FM, or Boss FM, or CRFM.
Okay.
But
I'm down in Granance today.
Okay.
And this morning, I said, let me tune and see if I get in the station. And I get it.
Good, man.
So I've been on it all morning.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to you there now. After news, I'm hearing you. So happy to hear you again, man. Welcome
Thank
again.
you. Yes, man. Good to hear your voice, sir.
And I disagree with my good friend, a long time we don't argue on Coral, who just finished Speak Day. I know you know him very well.
Yeah, okay.
A long time we didn't argue. And he need to understand what that lady said is basically what the nature of the politics we are dealing with now is in the country. Dick Mitchell has come and stopped politics in this country as no politician since Bishop in this country. Or you might even say since Keith Mitchell too. Because when Keith Mitchell took over the NNP, Keith Mitchell became a star like you didn't have for a while.
We didn't win election that time.
Yeah, and he didn't win. And I was glad he didn't win because that was the A team you're talking about. The most corrupt thing that we might have ever had in politics in this world.
One of the things over the years, I hear people use that word corruption so loosely that sometimes I wonder, because some people could do something and it didn't come true, but they didn't benefit from it financially. So they have made bad decisions. But it doesn't mean the individual is corrupt. Because we use corruption. We use corruption. You see, we use corruption vis-a-vis in politics very, very loosely.
But I don't want to dwell on that.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I have said from the time I started hearing about Deacon and noticing the stuff he has been making in this country since he came in, that you haven't had that happening for a long while. Now remember that NDC was just about a dead party for the longest while, especially for the past 10 years. NDC was just about dead. Here you have somebody who come and energize NDC in the most amazing way. You had a few leaders of NDC in the past few years who have never created a store. Franca Bernardine, my good friend Postulator.
Franca didn't face election. Tillman Thomas and Nazim Buck face election.
I'm not talking about election. I'm talking about as a party leader.
But let's be clear. Franca did not face election.
But as a party leader.
Yeah, but his term is facing election.
Even if Mr.
So it's not fair to compare
right now. The influence that Deacon has been having has been unusual for the longest while, especially given the NDC situation. Subjectively, NDC was just about that. Now they come and have an objective way of functioning. And that's the whole difference now. And when the lady say that she's giving Keith Mitchell a run for his money, that's the way I just put it all the time nowadays too. But still Keith Mitchell is the star of the show. And I don't think you could stop Kit Mitchell. That's a fact. That's where the problem is. That's where you can, not because Dick Mill is such a star, automatically he becomes, the leading star in the place. But the guy has energized the NDC in an amazing way. And this is one lady say he's giving Kit Mitchell a run for his money. Actually, should be put in the context that way. Simple.
Best call.
I hope I'll hear you again.
Yes, man, I will want to hear your voice all the time.
Okay,
Yes, my brother. Thank you very much. Yes, and we have just some little statistics. Kit Mitchell running, I think the guy he ran against was about 421 votes, and Kit had a lead of over 2,000 votes. The only 3 politicians that was able to make over 2,000 votes was Kit Mitchell, Emmeline Pierre, and that sister from St. Mark's. Yes, caller, punch.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, brother.
Do you see what the lady said about the 4 leaders? Dr. Mitchell was never a leader of any party.
Well, I think
Island.
Remember when she said Francis Alexis Kit, she said she think he's Kit. So if somebody said they think he's Kit, you don't really argue with it. But I don't know. GDM was Francis Alexis.
The 4 persons were Judge Brizan, Francis Alexis,
Winston White,
Robert Blaze, and Winston White.
George Brizan had his party, but Kit was with Francis Alexis.
Yes,
he was with GDM.
Yeah, but he was not the leader. So
but Francis Alexis was the leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
So maybe she thought was Kit. Yeah.
Alright, so shall I correct yourself?
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah. Yes, we're free. We have a call on the line. You can give us a call. We have about 10 minutes in the program again. And the politics is warm in Grenada, and you could come in with some of your short punches. I was just saying that Kit has been winning election by the biggest majority in this country. When I hear people say Kit should quit, I ask why, And I've been saying to some of my comrades, you have your best batsman that is fit as a fiddle, that is the top batsman making runs. Why would you leave him out of a cricket game? Unless you decide to please the opponent team. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
Yeah, what I was saying now, the lady say he gives Dr. Kit a run for his money. I see no way that close. Because if you look at the village meeting and things, right, like the village meeting, NDC had very few people in NDC had, and all the Dr. Kit meeting did have people.
We have to wait till, you see, that could be best answered tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock.
That's it.
It could be best answered tomorrow. Because
you're speaking.
NDC have about 20,000 solid supporters. NNP have about 20,000 solid supporters. About 10,000 supporters determine who run the country.
That's it.
So tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock, or the next time we come here on Monday,
yes,
we would know who give who run for what.
For the money.
Whether it's money or mango or whatever.
Yes, well, yeah. I mean, I think that was not in place.
Yes, Colonel. Yeah. Yes, 3 politicians did significantly well. Emmeline Pierre, a giant in St. Andrews. I think she lost the election against Patrick Simmons by about 32 votes. The next election she won. I think this is her 3rd election, or maybe she had 3 elections, and she won the last time by over 1,000 votes. And the sister from St. Mark's, Dr. Modeste, by over 1,000. And then Peter David by about 800. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, afternoon.
Go right ahead, brother.
Yeah, what I want to say, in the beginning, the NDC was making everybody prominent. Will they have to put that on the manifesto?
No, I've not seen the NDC manifesto, and at that stage, the manifesto have absolutely no influence on the election. That is why I think they presented the manifesto in the last minute of the election. I don't agree with them. I believe as a new party they claim, a party that diluted the significance of the older folks, the manifesto should be earlier. I would have liked to know what is the position on the socio-economic status of our people, what is the philosophy on the traditional social values, but the manifesto is very late.
Oh, very
So
late.
you have no significance to the election.
I thought they're saying they're making everybody permanently.
I don't think they could do that. They could say that. No, they can't do that. That is just old talk.
So that is old talk.
That is, and that old talk is so glaring. I don't think they had any labor consultation on that issue.
Because
Most politicians.
I don't hear nothing about that again.
No, you must stop talking about that. If you say something that is dumb twice, you have to stop talking about it. No, I mean, honestly, when you make a statement like that, you're not in touch with the reality. The public service, you cannot overload the public service. Every time you do that, you end up having to retrench workers. It has been done in Mr. Blair's days. They retrench workers, they cut social program. During Breezan days, they retrench workers, they cut social program. Kit Mitchell did not retrench workers and he did not cut social program. He was assisted by the international community and the IMF, and he promised to put a policy 3 for 10. So every 10 workers that go out through natural attrition, they're dead, they leave work, they get fired, he will only appoint you. Because you must streamline the public service. And that is why governments are putting workers on contract. Any union that doesn't understand that is dumb twice. Or they're trying to do things to bring the government into disrepute and disadvantage us to the workers.
So the NDC was taking the people for fool then?
They're not taking the people for fool, they're speaking out of tongue. They did not get proper labor advice. Remember, it's a new team that is green politically. So they might be idealistic, but they don't understand the working of the labor movement. So you must have a labor advisor. Either the labor advisor did not good or they didn't get one. Simple.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. You cannot make Imani permanent. That again is unacceptable. Take for instance, you might have an Imani that working in a shop, in a supermarket, a gas station, and you might have an Imani that is working in a school. The Imani in the school might have 9 subjects, and the one in the supermarket sometimes hardly could read and write. We have a caller on the line, caller Punch. Yes, caller. We lost the caller. We lost the caller. So these statements was a little made out of tone. I'm a man who's very soft on politician, so I forgive them for that. Let's go. Yes, go caller.
Yes, Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, my brother.
I have a little point I want to...
go right ahead.
I know if you have a political party, you have a deputy. And let's say that if NDC win and Mr. Deakin loses his seat, who will be the deputy prime minister? Can I know now before I vote?
No, you may not know. You have to first of all remember, in Grenada, the constitution doesn't recognize political party. It recognizes who commands the majority. So if Mr. Deakin lost his seat and Tessa beats Skeeter, Tessa is have a doctorate, and since people looking for intelligentsia, she will be the prime minister or the opposition leader. That is my opinion.
Yeah, because I know that everybody going, you have your deputy leader, and your deputy leader should be the next man in charge to take over from you. But when I look at it, the deputy leader of the NDC is not running at all.
Yeah, but remember again, it's a new experiment with some people at green in politics. So they are not following convention. They're very unorthodox in their approach. And since they have diluted the significance of some of the older ones, they're letting them try the new experiment. Okay. But don't bother if the Deakin didn't win his seat and Tessa win her seat, she might be the prime minister or the opposition leader.
Because I know people in Grenada vote for leaders, right, and deputy leaders, and the party.
But you have a change of attitude.
Okay.
If the leader cannot win his seat, I don't think it has ever happened before. A leader lost his seat and win the election. But if the leader can't win his seat and Tessa win hers, I think, in my opinion, the others might just choose Tessa as the opposition leader because she seems to have a little experience in the Senate and she have a doctorate, and since people looking for bright people, they may well take her.
So then you're going to end up with a struggle within the own camp.
Well, not necessarily a struggle. You might choose the brightest person. And she might be the brightest person there. And the person with the most experience because she was in the Senate.
Okay.
Yes, caller, thank you. We have some more time for a couple calls. So we could go right ahead and you could give us a call. You know? You have a call on the line?
Yes, sir.
Caller Punch.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, remember what happened in St. Vincent?
With Milton Cato?
No.
Okay.
With James Mitchell.
Was during Milton Cato period?
Right. James Mitchell remained Prime Minister. When he handed over the Prime Ministership, the political leader, and to Alan Eustace. Alan Eustace won about 4 times.
And he lost?
And he can't win his seat.
He can't win his seat?
He can't win his seat. And what happened? We take a new fella Friday. Friday won nothing twice. He still can't win.
Well, James Mitchell is a good leader. And you see, one of the challenge we have in Grenada, we seems to be angry with people because they're successful.
Right.
When you speak to people about Kit Mitchell, the only subjection they have, the man all. Kit Mitchell fit than perhaps any other politician in Grenada. He has his faculty. He's extremely successful. It's not to say his party winning 8 or 9 seats. You know. They're winning all the seats. So I think some people is politically jealous.
So what Mr. Dickner done to Persuader, he know that if he can make it, Persuader can make it too. So he prepare, as you say, for Miss Sensia, one of them, to lead the party.
Well, let's face it. If he use the democratic method to get the seat, then nothing is wrong with that.
No, I agree.
So, the people in the constituency say Deacon better than Persuader are good. They chose Persuader and they take Deacon. And if Deacon lost his seat, then I think Tessa, and he win the election, Tessa will be the Prime Minister.
Yes.
Because she have a little experience in the Senate and she have a doctorate. And people gravitate to doctors. So we might have the first woman Prime Minister or the first woman opposition in Grenada when Deacon.
June Foster said she would have been the first one, but it didn't happen.
Well, she go and interfere the people barreling in Carriacou. And the Carriacouians say, never again. She had to run, she couldn't win, she said. Right. They say barrel minister.
Then people must be careful when they're talking about politics. They must get their acts together before they go and talk about politics.
We have to forgive them sometimes because mouth open, won't jump out.
Yes.
And if you knew to politics, you're going to make blunders. That is why sometimes you need the elders around you.
Yeah.
Yes, caller, thank you.
My partner that say he knows me well there and he didn't satisfy with me. Apparently he understand what I said.
Thank you, caller. Thank you, caller. We reached to the end of the program. We're very happy to have you. We're very happy for our listeners, our brothers and sisters on Facebook. Somebody says, so what about Persuader? Tati is the deputy leader. We're going to respond to you on Monday. We'll have a new government. Either the incumbent will win or the opposition will win. Both sides claim they win in 15 seats. So next time we come back to you, we will be celebrating whoever win or lose. We're going to shed a tear for those who lose, and we're going to compliment those who win. And I want to thank you very much, and Real FM and our technician. Thank you until we see you on Monday after election. Thank you very much.
The bonds that unite us. stronger than these. We dine, we pray, we love. We dance and we play. We relate to each other.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
This is the latest news update produced by Triple N. Details when we get back.
M&M Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway St. George. Shop conveniently for all your building materials including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, inset screens and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&M Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&M Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together.
Welcome back. Locally, ICT responds to concerns of malicious attacks. In the region, in St. Lucia, Infrastructure Minister outlines road rehabilitation plans. We get more in this report.
Infrastructure Minister Stevenson King indicates that plans are afoot for the continuation of the Rodney Bay Road Rehabilitation Project. According to the minister, a review of the project was recently completed.
We have just completed the review of the project. There's some issues which must be resolved, but that project is now being brought under a new initiative to reconstruct the Castries-Gosley Highway from the Stock Bridge to the Cap Estate entrance. And therefore, that particular segment of road where we've got those issues, that segment of road will be reviewed to fit into the overall redevelopment of the Castries-Gosley Highway.
Minister King reveals that minor rehabilitative works will be done on the Rodney Bay portion of the road in a bid to create a better motoring experience.
Some minor repairs will be done, basically to reinstate the road to a certain extent to its original form to allow for ease of commuting. But otherwise, the entire road is being considered. The project will be funded by the Kuwaiti government. It is under consideration, and we're hoping in the coming weeks we will have some positive news on this project.
Meanwhile, motorists continue to lament the state of the island's roadways, calling for critical intervention where necessary.